everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Thank you so much for watching today. Today is Friday, July 10th, 2020. We made it to the end of a work week. No matter what the circumstance is within your work week, this week, I'm telling you, the weekend will make it all better. All right, relax, chill out, and do you. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Michael Finkley Show, and then ring that bell for notification. You'll be the first to receive emails about our show and new content. All right. Again, we're continuing on our conversation with college and career readiness, especially to the point where it's almost August, and a lot of schools are they're saying one thing. They may go back to school. Some saying they're not going back to school. Some are still in that gray area saying we're going to just take a look at what's going to happen within the nation. So please pay attention to local news and also national news as well. We hope that you're staying safe and that you are staying continuously hopeful within this time as well. Now, we're continuing on the topic of college and career readiness. Okay, so we have awesome experts in the fields once more giving you advice that you need to hear during this time. So, no more from me. When we come back, you'll hear from those experts. So don't you go away. We'll be right back. Next, we chat with Mr. Bill Leamon about his book and his services. Don't you go away. On the next Michael Finkley, Monday, Brianna, Ahmad, George, where does this leave Black America? Our panel, Avery Rosser, Terrence Tucker, and Jamal Shroud speak upon this and their own experiences on the next Michael Finkley.
Welcome back, everybody. We're still talking about college and career readiness this segment, and we have an awesome person here that is an expert in the field of this college readiness, right? College and career readiness. So he is also the author of this awesome book, alrighty, College Success 101. Please welcome Mr. Bill Leamon. Bill!
Michael, how are you? Great to see you.
Oh,
looking
likewise.
Good, awesome. Well, thanks for having me. This is a great opportunity, and I've been admiring your work for a couple of years now, and I bought your book as well. And in fact, I got a quick story to tell. I originally was going to price my book at $20, per book. And then I ordered yours, read yours, and realized that your book is better than mine. So I had to price mine lower than yours in order to be competitive in the marketplace. So I love your book, and I love your focus on first generation students, by the way.
Thank you.
That's the passion that you and I share.
Oh.
Are you a first generation student yourself?
I am.
Okay.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
this is where it comes from.
Okay, so I founded at Notre Dame College, where I work. That's my day job.
Mm-hmm.
I am the founding director of our First Gen Center. So about 5 years ago, I launched a center specifically to help students who are first in their family to go to college, to make sure that they graduate from college. So that's my passion. I know it's your passion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad that we share that connection.
Yeah, definitely. So I was stalking you on LinkedIn, and I did see that in your profile. I'm like, wow, that's something to be a founding director of, and to see it grow throughout the years, and to see, I know it's amazing. I know it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, we've had some great success. And in fact, students who are first in their family are as likely to graduate from Notre Dame College as their peers who are second, third, fourth, fifth generation. And so we've been able to really level the playing field, and our success metrics show that that center has a positive impact on outcomes. So I'm really happy about that.
Wow, I love it. I love it.
So my book was originally written for that audience specifically.
Gotcha.
I did it accordingly, but it's those students who I had in my mind when I wrote my book, which is based on a talk which I've given to over 100 high schools, almost 20,000 students now throughout Northeast Ohio. I'm now expanding to include all of Ohio, and I'm also kind of working my way into other markets using virtual methods and means. And so I'm really excited how things have really taken off. And it's a market it's a big market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one that, if you only help one student, that in of itself would justify all the time and effort and energy that you put into what it is that you do. And so I'm proud to be your partner in this effort to help more students not only go to college, but graduate from college.
Exactly, and that's the ultimate goal, to help students be successful in their own right. And Bill, let's back up just a little bit. Where
Okay.
did this passion come from? Because when you're in school, this is not offered any type of curriculum in undergrad or anything like that. It just kind of finds you. So where did that passion come from?
So I think it really became evident when I started working at Notre Dame College. And originally I was a professor of marketing, also taught courses in leadership and strategy and entrepreneurship over the years. And so I was able to see firsthand the challenges that some students were having. And it seemed to be the pattern that they are students who are first in their family to go to college. And I wanted to find a way to be more helpful specifically to them, but then realizing that regardless of your background, everyone benefits from knowing more and having a better appreciation for what the expectations are and what the differences are between high school success and college success. So for some students, it might not be about whether they graduate or not, but it might be how well do they perform at that next level. And so I think the passion came from my work as a professor over a period of 10 years and seeing a pattern evolve as to why do some students succeed while other students fail.
Right.
And so that's what my book is all about. And realizing that the first 101 days, that first semester, is absolutely critical.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, because oftentimes how you start is how you finish. And if you get off to a bad start, maybe that is the finish to your career.
Yeah.
So that's where my passion, I think, originally was developed. And I've been, certainly continue to pursue it and have other reasons now I have my own boys. I've got 4 myself who are in college. And so college success is kind of what I've been living now for the past over 10 years.
Gotcha. So when did you decide to turn your passion into a business? When did that flip over in that area?
Yeah, so to call it a business would imply that I'm making money, and so I'll call it a social enterprise, right?
Gotcha.
Because
I like that. I like that.
And because I am an entrepreneur, both by trade and training, and so I just decided to apply. And what do you do as an entrepreneur, right? You look at the market and say, where is the need and how can I fill it? And so I had gone through a program with the Sisters of Charity Foundation, which actually has an office in Columbia, just down the street from you. But they also have an office here in Cleveland. Interesting connection, right?
Really?
So I was a fellow for a year and a half, a program called Innovation Mission. And they taught me how to transform an idea into an actual business. And so they helped me come up with a plan to develop a value proposition that was compelling and that people would be interested and excited about. And so identified the transition from high school to college as an opportunity. And so I am building a business, and there are future revenue streams that I am in pursuit of. Primarily, certainly my book is one, but really the one-on-one coaching that I do with private clients is, I think, where I have the most opportunity to be most helpful to students who need some intensive coaching over those 101 days.
Gotcha.
So that was the beginning of taking an idea and making it into, I'll call it a business, but as I refer to myself, I'm a social entrepreneur.
Gotcha. And Bill, as you're seeing now within what's happening within the world, the pandemic that's happening, and your book is catered to those first 101 days. How can students cope with those first 101 days, and we're still dealing with the coronavirus?
Well, a couple things. People ask me, why do you call it College Success 101, and why is your focus on 101 days? Why don't you just call it the first semester? And I say my response to that is because every single day counts, right?
Exactly.
And so whether you're going to be an online student or whether you're going to be on campus, you need to recognize that the pace of college is much greater than that of high school. And you have to make sure that you're ready for that first day, which really means you need to be 30 days prior to that making proactive contact with your professors, asking for the syllabus, confirming the textbook, making sure that you get the syllabus, read the syllabus, and that you get the book and you read the first chapter. So whether, the same strategies that I would articulate to somebody who is going onto a campus and physically present in a classroom would be the same things that I'd be telling to an online student, but even perhaps more, right? Because you don't get the benefit of that personal connection. And so you have to make that extra effort to make the connection with your professors and make sure that you are doing things that are proactive, like the syllabus, like the book I described, making sure that on that first day you're ready to roll. And so that would be some of the advice that I would give an online student, much like you would an on-ground student.
Gotcha. Also in your book, because I was reading it, I'm like, where was this when I was in school, right? You gave some awesome advice, and one of the chapters, it talks about the 15-minute rule. And when I first saw it, the 15-minute rule when I was in school was that if the teacher doesn't show up in 15 minutes, stop the roll and leave.
Hey, that's a rule. That's a rule too.
Can you elaborate more about that, the 15-minute rule?
Yeah, well, it comes from Vince Lombardi, the famous coach of the Green Bay Packers, and so that's called Lombardi time, which means whatever you do, whatever meeting you're going to, you're always 15 minutes early, right? And getting that mindset embedded early and often, I think, is helpful for students. Because what I think about is the 15 minutes leading up to the class is all about preparation, right? It's kind of getting yourself settled in and making sure that you have the opportunity to review what it is that you would have already read prior to that class to make sure that when the professor does show, you're ready to roll. And then the 15 minutes after class is all about planning. So I recommend that students show up early because that does give them an opportunity to do a couple things. One, on that first day, you'll walk in and it will only be you and your professor. And this is your opportunity to make a great introduction, right? Because you were the only one to send them the email requesting the syllabus and confirming the textbook. And so now you get to go up, introduce yourself to the professor and make that connection and thank them for sending the syllabus and also confirming the textbook. And so they then know you are positive, proactive, and professional. And that's a good way to get off to a good start with your college career. And then, of course, now you have the opportunity to go sit in the front row, right? Which is where you want to be.
Exactly.
That's the next step.
Exactly. Love it. So what are some events that have you done in the past, or you have upcoming events to either promote yourself? I know that you're a major component when it comes to Notre Dame. What type of things are you planning right now?
Well, so I've recently taken my book and my talk, and I've created an animated video series. And so if you were to go to my website, you'll see on collegesuccess101.org, it's essentially my talk, but done in a, I think, fun and informative format that allows students to, if they are not inclined to read my book, which is available free download as well on my website now, with promo code 101 for your listeners. And so they can go to the website, download my book for free, and they can watch my video series. There's about 1 to 2 minute videos that takes them through the entire book. And so it's a cartoon version of me. It's not my voice, by the way. I got a professional voice. Yeah. I heard on a test reel, I heard my voice and I said, no way, that's not going to work. And so you may hear someone else's voice, but it's my content. I wrote it. And I think it's a good way to engage students in a more virtual way, because I don't know that I'll have the opportunity to get in front of large audiences as I have in the past and share my message with primarily seniors who are graduating. And so that is probably the most exciting recent development, is the website being complete and the book being available for a free download, and be able to watch the animated video series in lieu of reading my book.
Gotcha. Okay. So last advice, words of advice, I guess, for seniors now, incoming seniors that are going back in the fall, hopefully, to school. What advice would you give them as they prepare for college?
Yeah, well, I think the word prepare is very important, and preparing includes planning. And I think that one of the challenges that seniors in high school have as they transition from high school to college is not being able to plan in the way that they need to, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recommend that students just go old school and use the old 30-day planning calendar and actually be able to visually look at what the future holds, and making sure that at the end of every single class, that planner is up to date and they know by day, by hour, by subject, what they're going to be studying. Now, college success, I could have written my book, it could be one page, right? It's go to class, it's participate, and it's study.
Right.
So there is no secret to college success. It's those three things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, you're going to have to read my book or watch my video series to get a better appreciation for some of the nuances that do make a big difference. But to me, it's all about planning and executing. That's how you succeed at the next level. So I hope that students will get that planner, get that syllabus, get that textbook, and begin that process of getting themselves prepared for that first day. And if they do that, they're gonna have a lot less nervous energy and anxiety. They're just going to be excited about the next step because they know what to expect, and they now feel comfortable and confident that they're prepared for success at that next level. So that would be my advice for incoming freshmen.
Awesome. Thank you so much. How can they find you on social media, Bill?
I'm not a big social media guy. I think, and I need to follow your lead because you're really good at that. And so you're going to teach me about how to be more present on social media.
I'm here.
Okay, good. I'm going to take you up on that offer, okay? But for me, if you go to my website, collegesuccess101.org, you can find my email, you can find my phone number, you can call me, text me, email me. I'll be more than happy to be helpful to anyone that reaches out to me. And if they want to download my book and if they want to watch the video, all the better. So I'm here to help. So just let me know how I can help, okay?
All right. And we're here for you. We need to talk about that as well, your social media presence.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Leamon, author of this awesome book, College Success 101. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Coming up, we talk with Ms. Shamelle Ingram about college readiness. We'll be right back. Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie, Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. So we are continuing our conversation on college and career readiness, and we have none other than Miss Shamelle Ingram. Hello.
Hi, Finkley. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, we're honored to have you. Thank you for taking out the time to be on. Yes, ma'am. So let's get right into it. So we know that when it comes down to college and career readiness, this is something that kind of finds us, right? So how did this profession find you?
Yes, that's a very good question. And I have a story that is very personal. This is how I got into it. I grew up in a single parent household. My mom is thebomb.com, just like your mom, shout out. Okay. And I grew up in, low income. I grew up low income, and I was able to be accepted into a program at Princeton University while I was in high school. I went to high school in Trenton, New Jersey, and it helped underrepresented low income students access college, something like Upward Bound, Trio, etc. Right. And I enjoyed this program. It was a 3-year program. So I got accepted in the 9th grade, at the end of 9th grade. And so I was on the college campus for 3 straight summers and took classes, read all kinds of books, and they helped us with the college process. I really, really so appreciated that experience. And when I went to college, I never forgot that, and I kept in touch with the program. And then I became a college advisor after I graduated from college. I didn't know what I was going to do afterwards. There was an opportunity that came up called the College Advising Corps. It was very new back then, but now it's in like 25 different states. It was just in North Carolina and in Virginia at that time. Whoa. And so I worked in 2 underprivileged high schools in Durham, North Carolina, very similar to the demographics of my high school. And they adopted the near-peer model, in which they wanted recent college graduates to help assist high school students getting into college. Essentially, we did what the school counselor didn't have a whole lot of time to do. And that's focused on the college piece. And that was so rewarding, and I wanted to continue doing that work. So what did I do? I became a school counselor. Now, why did I become a school counselor? Knowing good and well that I wasn't going to have a whole lot of time to focus on the college piece, doing exactly what I love to do. So I fast forward, I've been a school counselor for 7 years, but in my current role as the assistant director of school and college counseling, I get a chance to do a whole lot of college counseling. And the school counseling piece, a lot of it is kind of like mental health and a lot of paperwork. We have some other people who can do some of the paperwork, and it gives me a lot of time to focus on the college access piece, which I'm finally getting back to my first love. And then I've been doing this work for 10 years. So I decided to start Keys to College, which is a educational consulting business in which I'm still going to be able to do that same work. And I love working with underrepresented students.
That is so awesome. So tell us more about your endeavors as a educational consultant. What type of things have you done in the community? Some things that you may be working on now?
Yes. So when January 2020 rolled around, I said, you know what, I'm going to go full force with this, and I'm going to do some things that are not so popular, such as YouTubes and Instagram Lives. Little did I know that those would start getting super popular once the corona hit. Okay. And everybody started doing lives and started doing more YouTube videos and more digital things. So when January came, I started doing digital things to reach out to the community. Also, still digitally, there's this app called Nextdoor, and it's my community. And so I put out information in my own neighborhood virtually about college access. So I've also collaborated, sorry, that doorbell rang. I also collaborated with a few people, and we've done HBCU student panels. We're going to do a student panel about what it's like to be a Black student at a PWI. Wow. And I've reached out to people like yourself, just trying to learn more information, trying to gather information, and just trying to find my tribe. And I think that the people who I connect with are my tribe. If we don't really gel like that, that's totally fine. And but my focus is the students, and my focus is educating the students, and also networking on a global sense too. Starting with the United States, but I'm also starting to see there's some global opportunities.
Oh, neat. What type of global opportunities?
Well, there are lots of students who are trying to go to college in the United States who don't live in the United States. So it's like, if we have that knowledge, if we have that knowledge to help them, a lot of times they are willing to do what it takes to get that information. So specifically West Africa, that's something that's kind of in the back of my mind.
Okay, neat, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to venture out into because it's so much needed. And just like I feel like they're in the mindset of first generation students, they don't know the process, because it's so much different where they are. That's so awesome.
Exactly.
Talk about your training when it comes down to you training parents and students when it comes down to the college process. What are some of the mistakes that you see on a frequent basis, maybe, that you have to okay, yeah, you're in the right ballpark. Let me reel you back in.
Yes, some of the mistakes that I see are students who want to go to a school because of the name, but it's also a big price tag, and they may not give a whole lot of financial aid. So it's just, okay, is this the right decision in the long run? How much loans will you have by the time you graduate? So it's just like having them kind of shoot for the stars, but also kind of be realistic. I want students to have options. That is my main goal. I don't want you to say I'm applying to one school and that's a hope and a prayer, or I'm applying to 8 reach schools and no schools that I match with. So I want you to have options. I want you to be able to choose and compare and contrast. And I think a lot of mistakes are that some students may not apply to the schools that are the right fit for them, whether it's financially or it could be a social fit, things of that nature. Sometimes students look for the wrong things. And I think that they need to be real with themselves. Some students should go to an HBCU. Some students may not, some students may want to go to a PWI, predominantly white institution, or a historically Black college or university. Sometimes you can get both experiences. So I know some students, they might have either transferred or they may have gone to one school and then taken a class at the other school, like if it was a PWI or HBCU, just to kind of get that experience.
Neat. So you talked about the aspect of them trying to find their own tribe. So how important is college fit? Because I feel like that is the start of your research process and trying to find that perfect institution. So how important is that concept?
Yeah, I think it's very important for you to do research first. You do research online, look at YouTube videos, talk to students who've gone. Really got to be bold, because this is a commitment. And I would hope that you would stay at a school for 4 years. Sometimes it's hard as a transfer student to even fit in. You're looking for that fit and you still never fit in. And so I think it's also about accepting yourself and growing where you are planted. So it's like, okay, even if the school is like, it could be better. It's like, okay, what can you do to make it better? Can you perhaps reach out to other students or organizations or other adults on that campus to make it your own? Does that mean you're going to another college campus down the street and going to maybe their parties or their functions, and you're making it your own? You're making it your own community or your own tribe. And so you have to reach out and you have to kind of write it down, make it plain. What do you want in a school? What is absolutely a non-negotiable? Some people might feel like having small classes are non-negotiable. Some people may learn better in small classes. Some people may feel like, look, I went to college and I want to have fun. I want to go to a football game. I want to go to a college that has a football team. It's making it your experience.
Gotcha. Couldn't have said it better myself. Get to college, you have to pay for it. And sometimes, financial aid, when it comes down to financial aid and scholarships, it could be boring in talk. So how do you kind of liven that conversation up for students and parents?
Oh, how do I liven up a conversation about financial aid?
Yeah, I know it's hard.
Good question. Well, maybe I do scare tactics, perhaps, of just saying you're gonna have to pay these loans back. Is it worth it to you? What is the value of a college education? How much is it worth to you? Is it worth you graduating with $200,000 worth of debt? But also I help them to realize that college is an investment. So like on the other hand, it is an investment, but maybe not that much of an investment. So to liven it up a little, I would give them the advantages of going to college. So I think it's social capital, social connections.
Just good.
Let's say, I'm sure you can relate and I can relate. There are people who I went to college with who I'm still in touch with now, who I could utilize for a reference for a job. There are other things that I could do on campus because I graduated from there. In addition to the social capital is you're just learning how to be an adult. You're learning along the way of, just how to be a leader, how to make good decisions. So college really is an investment. So I would just talk about just certain traits and values and how much do you value certain things when it comes to college.
Gotcha. That's good.
And then also ways to save money too. So sometimes you can, figure out certain things to do. Maybe you might have to live at home I don't know if it's a non-negotiable for some students, or you may have to, live on campus for all 4 years or in an apartment where there are, you might be laying on the couch. I don't know, but, just, think of those ways around certain things and got to be creative and ask those those questions that a lot of people may not ask.
Gotcha. That is good. And another thing too that I tell students about, especially the saving money aspect, take advantage of dual enrollment, take advantage of early programs, because you can put those credits into an institution and you're cutting your tuition sometimes in half. You can just spend 2 years there instead of all 4. So you're definitely cutting those things in half.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great advice. I'm going to keep that in my little back pocket too, to remember to talk about.
So, COVID-19 is out there, out and about. And a lot of colleges and universities are saying, we're going to put a halt to fall right now. And we're just going to put everything online. Harvard just came out on yesterday, actually, saying that they are in the process, some freshmen can come, but not all. And majority of this is going to be online. But they're not cutting any type of cost. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, I definitely think they should cut some costs. I guess the name Harvard, they're like, people will come regardless. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that. I know that Spelman is cutting their costs by 10% online, and still some students are in uproar about that too. So, yikes. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't, it's going to be all online. Well, I think people are hoping that next year it'll be much better. So they're probably just like sucking it up because they're like, well, I got into Harvard, and maybe Harvard feels like they can do that. But I don't agree. I definitely think there should be a discount. And I know that students are not going to be paying for living on campus too. So they'll be saving money that way also. But I definitely, I think that they should give a break financially.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because that's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Other institutions are doing that as well, and some are not cutting the cost. So they may even see a decrease in their enrollment if they just keep that up. Because I read an article the other day, actually, and one person was like, no, my child is going to community college. Mm-hmm. This whole COVID thing is over, then she can transfer back to that institution. So you may just see persons on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's smart to go to community college, honestly, first.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, ma'am. So what advice would you give to a student that's just kind of out there? They don't want to go to college, but they want to start on the career aspect, the career side. Just start going to work. What type of advice would you give them to kind of prepare them for that role?
Okay, that's good. So students who want to go to work, they don't have interest in college right now. Well, I would say, go in and put your best foot forward. Go into the interview with your best clothes on. It's still competitive out here. It's still hard to even find a job at Target or Kohl's. Yeah. I remember I interviewed for a job at Kohl's, and I had a college degree and I didn't get the job. So it's just...
It's hard.
It's hard out here to get a job still. So network, put your best foot forward, have your resume, have everything very tidy. And I would say, keep in the back of your mind, you may eventually want to go to college. And sometimes jobs, once you already started the job, they'll pay for you to go to this training and get certified in different things and be a manager. So I would say, if you're going to go get a job, see what the requirements are for some of the highest positions, the manager, then a district manager, things of that nature. So I would say, continue to network and continue to be professional as you can. Take it seriously, be on time, and work your way up the chain.
No, definitely. Upward mindset. Mm-hmm. Last words of encouragement and advice for students that are saying, hey, college, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Last advice that I have for students that are interested in college is, this is an unprecedented time in our country or in our world, actually, and don't give up. I know it sometimes is looking a little blurry, like you don't know what the next step is. You don't know how things are going to be next year. But if you want to go to college and get that 4-year degree, stick with it. Finish what you've started. You have done everything. You have taken standardized test scores if the school requires it. You have gotten the grade. You've gotten your diploma. Don't stop. You've got to keep going. You cannot stop, and by any means necessary, do what you have to do. Send emails, reach out, stay on top of things, ask questions, and grow where you are planted.
I love it. Grow where you are planted. Ooh, that's a shirt. How can they find you on social media?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram at The Keys to College, Facebook Keys to College, and LinkedIn at Shamelle Ingram Yamofio.
Awesome.
Oh, and my website, keystocollegellc.com.
Awesome. You heard it here. Shamelle, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed you. You have such nice teeth. I'm realizing.
I brushed them.
Very important.
The Finkley Experience is an education and consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. We assist parents and their students with the college process. We train school administrators, and we also partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population. To learn more about our consulting firm and to purchase our book and workbook, please visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com. Hello, welcome back. Now, let me ask you, was the information good for you? I know it was. I'm telling you, experts in the field of college and career readiness, Bill and Shamelle, know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, they've been in the field for so long, and they have these awesome nuggets of information for you. So thank you so much to the both of you for being on today, and I'm going to reach out again, so don't go far. Okay? On the next Michael Finkley, we have 3 gentlemen that will be with me, and we're talking about the state of Black America. I'm telling you, it is a conversation that you will not want to miss. So much is happening, and we are talking about it. So that's our Monday show. So be on the lookout for that. Again, thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show, and ring that bell for notification, and you'll be the first to receive that information of new content. Again, thank you. And we'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend and have a good one.